Hello friends, welcome to my channel. This is Rashekar. In this video, we are going to discuss about introduction to IoT and Raspberry Pi, and along with programs also we are going to see. So let us see first one, introduction of IoT. So here we are going to see the definition and IoT architecture, IoT technologies, characteristics, applications, and definitions of sensors and the different types of sensors and some advantages and the disadvantages of IoT. Next, so here let us start the definition. IoT is defined as a network of items, each embedded with sensors which are connected to the internet. And the next, IoT is basically about making things smart. So here we can say like this, it is basically a two words like internet and things together we are called as internet of things. And the next, coming to the inventor of IoT, yeah, the Kevin Aston is an inventor and he is a consumer sensor expert, and he is first introduced this the internet of things. Next, IoT architecture. So here the four layers. The first one is sensing layer, next followed by network layer, next data processing layer, next application layer. So here sensing layer means sensors we are using, that data is sent to CPU or data processing layer. So through some Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, so that data finally we are going to make an application like smartphone, smartwatch, etc. So this is the overall architecture view of IoT: sensing layer, network layer, data processing layer, and application layer. Next, IoT enabling technologies. So here, first one, wireless sensor network. Next, cloud computing, big data analytics, communication protocols, and embedded systems. So these are the technologies of IoT. Next, characteristics of IoT. So let us see the points. First one, it is interconnectivity and heterogeneity, dynamic changes, safety. So these are the characteristics. And not only this, you can see many things. Next, IoT applications. Next, few applications we are going to see here, like a smart home, smart cities, smart retail, smart supply chain, smart farming, and wearables, connected car, connected health, etc. Okay, not only these, so many applications are there and so many characteristics are there. Next, some advantages, like first we can say that save the time and some improve the customer communication. Next, support and it support wide range of data collection. Next, see some disadvantages also, or drawbacks. There is a chance of leakage of our confidential data when sent over a network. Yes. Then next point, with this automation, the need of human labor reduces drastically. Yeah, okay. Next point, today lifestyle is technology driven. We depend on technology for thinnest of tasks. So these are the drawbacks. Next, finally, we are going to see the definitions of sensor and actuator. First, sensor. Okay, a sensor tends to convert a physical attribute to an electrical signal. And next, coming to the actuator. Actuator does the opposite. Opposite of what? Sensor. What is going? So it is nothing but it changes. Actuator changes an electrical signal to physical action. Now let us see another way to define like this. A sensor converts the physical parameter into electrical signal which can be measured electrically. Physical parameter in the sense, example like temperature, blood pressure, humidity, speed, etc. Next, actuator. Coming to the actuator. So an actuator is a machine or part of machine which moves or controls another part in response to an input. Next, different types of sensors like temperature sensor, proximity sensor, IR sensor. IR means infrared, PIR sensor, passive infrared sensor. Next, pressure sensor, light sensor, ultrasonic sensor, smoke sensor, gas sensor, alcohol sensor, touch sensor, color sensor, humidity sensor, tilt sensor, soil moisture sensor, etc. So these are the different types of sensors. Next, next coming to the Raspberry Pi introduction part. So here, this is the Raspberry Pi diagram image. Next, see here, first point, Raspberry Pi is it is a credit card sized single board computer, and it is developed in the UK by Raspberry Pi Foundation. Next point, and this is nothing but now the Ibn Upton is the founder of Raspberry Pi Foundation. You can see the picture also. Next coming to the modules of Raspberry Pi 4 model B. It is the Raspberry Pi 4 model B. First you can see here the numbering. This is the first one. So here you can see the total 40 pins are there. So here the first one we are calling as GPIO pins, and the next one is Ethernet port. Okay, this is the Ethernet port, this one. Next 3 and 4 are nothing but USB ports, USB 2.0 and 3.0. So here the difference is compared to 2.0, the 3.0, the data transfer rate is more compared to 2.0. Next it is fifth one, it is 3.5 mm AV, that means audio and video purpose. This we are going to connect to our television also by using this port. Next, coming to the sixth one, this is the CSI camera port. Next, seventh and eighth are micro HDMI ports. Next, ninth one is Type-C power pin, and 10th one is a DSA display port, and 11th one is our wireless and Bluetooth chip. Next 12th one is system on chip, and 13th one is RAM, and the 14th one is this one. This is the PoE, power over Ethernet. Next 15th one, last one, it is micro SD card that you can observe here. So this is the micro SD card slot. So we are going to use the 16 GB memory card. So in that memory card only we are going to install our operating system of Raspberry Pi. So here we are going to use Raspbian operating system is we are going to use. Next one, coming to the pin diagram of this Raspberry Pi. The total 40 pins are there. So and you can see here the Raspberry Pi 3 model and the Raspberry Pi 4 model, the pin configuration, it is everything same. Let us see the total 40 pins. Most of the pins are GPIO pins. So those are 26 pins, 26 GPIO pins are there. Starting from GPIO 2, GPIO 22 and GPIO 27. And here GPIO 0 and GPIO 1, those are not mentioned here. Actually, those are nothing but ID and EEPROM pins only. So these are the two pins, pin number 27 and pin number 28. These are the special purpose pins. These are not GPIO pins. Hope you understand. Next, coming to this one, the GPIO pins are 26. They are not in order, some random position. Next, in this, the total ground pins are 8. For example, if you see here, it is highlighted with the black color. Pin number 6, 9, 14, next 20, 25. After that 30, 34, 39. So these are the total 8 pins. Next, DC DC pins power pins 3.3 pins are two, like pin number 1 and pin number 17 are 3.3 DC power pins, and pin number 2 and pin number 4 are the 5 volts DC pins. Okay. Next, if you add all these things like 26 plus 8, 26 GPIO pins are there, and 8 ground pins are there. Totally it is 34. So then 34 plus 4 DC power pins, it is 38. 38 plus 2 special purpose pins, that is total 40. The 2 special purpose pins are nothing but IDEE prom pins. Those are the pins, pin number 27 and 28. So these are the not GPIO pins. So this is about Raspberry Pi pin diagram. Next coming to the programs by using our Raspberry Pi. So first program is write a program to blink LED using while loop. So now we are going to see blinking of this LED. So this is the LED. So here this bigger terminal is positive and the shorter terminal is negative. This positive pin we are going to connect to our GPIO pin, and this negative we are connected to ground. So, and I think you know this concept. So please refer my previous video so that you can get the more clarity on all these experiments. Now, so first is import RPI.GPIO as GPIO. That means we are importing. RPI means Raspberry Pi GPIO pins. GPIO means general purpose input and output pins. Next we are importing time, and here you can see which mode we are using. Board method we are using. Board method. It is the direct way to call the pin numbers. Next one, it is which pin you are going to use. That is nothing but initialization. So that you need to mention here GPIO.setup 8, GPIO.in. So that means 8 pin we are using. That 8 pin we are connected to our LED positive terminal. Next, anyway, ground pin 39 is the ground pin that we are going to use. So regarding ground pin, we are not mentioned in the program. That is a default pin. Next, we are under while true, we are writing these statements like initialization of pin. That means GPIO.output 8, true means that 8 pin is enabled by using this statement, so that 8 pin we are connected to LED positive, so LED is on. How much time? 0.2 seconds LED is on. Now we are disabling that 8 pin while by the statement is GPIO.output 8, false, so that LED is off. How much time? 0.2 seconds. This is continuously repeated. So because we are writing these statements in while loop, so that while is an infinity loop, so it will continuously execute in this process. This is about the blinking of LED using while loop. Next, we are going to see buzzer also. Both the programs are same, and the terminal names also same here. The two terminals, this buzzer. The difference is in the previous program where the LED is on, but here this buzzer it will give some sound. That's it. Everything is same, and the previous program we are using while loop, but here we are using for loop. Instead of while true, we are going to use for x in range 5. That means this buzzer it will give sound for only 5 times only. So wherever the LED is there, just replace LED instead of LED. We are going to use buzzer. That's it. Next program is write a program to blink 2 LEDs alternatively using while loop. So here we are going to use 2 LEDs like this. So previous program for single LED 1 GPIO pin is sufficient, but here we are blinking 2 LEDs, so that 2 GPIO pins are required, and that too alternatively. That means if one is on, if first LED is on, the second LED is off. If second LED is on, the first LED is off. Like that we are going to see the output, so that the code is like this. First we are initializing the we are enabling the 8th pin so that LED 1 is on, and we are making as for 1 second the first LED is on, and after that we are disabling that 8th pin, and we are not mention the time immediately, so that immediately the 10th pin is we are going to enable so that the second LED is on. Okay, so that second LED is on for 1 second, and immediately we are disabling the, after that we are disabling the 10th pin, so that second LED is also off. This process is continuously repeated. So that is the way we are going to see the output alternatively blinking. Next program, RGB program. So write a program to blink RGB LED using while loop. So here RGB LED, it is having 4 terminals. So here the bigger terminal is not positive, it is negative. So this negative we are connected to ground pin, that is 39 is one of the ground pin, and the remaining 3 pins are nothing but red, green and blue. So here how to identify which is red, which is green and which is blue means this bigger terminal beside one single terminal is there, that is red, after that followed by green, after that blue. That is the way you need to identify the pins. And here that means the red is one GPIO pin, and green is another GPIO pin, and next blue is another GPIO pin. So 8, 10 and 12. Next the same program, we are the same format we are using. Like first of all we are initializing the 8th pin, and after that we are disabling the 8th pin, and the next initialization of 10th pin, next disabling the 10th pin, and next enabling the 12th pin, and disabling the 12th pin, so that we are going to see the output. First red color is on, after that green, after that blue. So this is the program RGB. Yeah. Next program, write a program to detect the object using IR sensor. So this is the program we are going to see whether the IR sensor is detecting the object or not. So for that, this is the ultrasonic, this is the IR sensor. It is having 3 terminals. The first one is output terminal, and middle one is ground, and the last one is VCC. They are mentioned already. Now here, when the IR sensor is detecting the object means whenever the IR sensor value is 0, value in the sense if the statement like if GPIO dot input 8 equals to 0, in that means where IR sensor, whenever the IR sensor value is 0, at that point the sensor is detecting the object. Okay, whenever if there is any object in front of IR sensor, so we are going to see the output as IR sensor is detecting the object. Next one is if there is no object in front of IR sensor, we are going to see the output is IR sensor not detecting the object. So simply here we are going to see the IR sensor is detecting the object or not. And here another point we mentioned that 8, GPIO dot in. That means here this output pin, IR sensor output pin is nothing but our 8th pin only. The IR sensor output pin now act like a input of our Raspberry Pi, because this Raspberry Pi taking the information from the sensor. That is the reason we are mentioned that GPIO dot in. Next. Yeah, so next one, IR sensor with LED only. So that means whenever the IR sensor is detecting the object, so LED is on. So this is the task here. So whenever the IR sensor is detecting the object, LED is on, otherwise the LED is off only. So for that means here the initialization of LED is important. For that we are going to use another GPIO pin, that is 10th pin, and where we enable the 10th pin means that line we are mentioned in if statement, because at that in if statement only the sensor is detecting the object, so that we mentioned that point in if statement. And in else case, IR sensor is not detecting the object, so that we are disabling the 10th pin in else in else statement. So that is the reason we mentioned that statement, disabling statement in else case. So in this way, we are going to see whenever the object is placed in front of IR sensor, other side the LED is on, otherwise the LED is off. This is the program of IR sensor with LED. Next, we are going to see, push button is working or not. So here the button pressed or not, we are going to see. That's it. So that means the button is working or not. It is also just like an IR sensor working or not program only, our previous program. The program structure, the way of writing the program is same. Now coming to this component push button, it is having 4 terminals, 4 legs. Out of 4 legs in this program, we are going to use only the 2 pins. So here one pin act like a GPIO pin and the other pin act like a ground pin. And there is no particular pin numbering also. You can use either of the 2 pins. One pin act like a, for example, one pin, this pin act like our GPIO pin and this pin act like a ground pin. That's it. So here, whenever the button is pressed, so it is going to be, we are going to see the output as button pressed detected. Whenever if we are not using the button or we are not pressed the button, we are going to see button pressed is not detected. That's it. Both the programs are same, but here one extra line is added. That is the initialization of button. The line is, for example, 10 comma GPIO.in comma pull underscore up underscore down is equals to GPIO.PUD underscore up. This is the line. This is the only line, the difference from previous program and this program. So here PUD means pull up down and UP means up only. So initially the button is in up position only. Next, write a program to make an LED glow when controller detects a button pressed. So here the program is, whenever the button, this is the program button with LED. Whenever the button pressed, here, whenever if you press the button, LED is on. So that is the program, same thing. So in if statement, we are going to see the button pressed is detected. So in that situation, in that point, we are going to enable the 12th pin. And next in else statement, similarly. So here the button pressed is not detected in else statement. So we are going to disable the 12th pin in else statement. Next program, it is the last program by using IR sensor. Write a program to determine the distance of an object using ultrasonic sensor. So this is the program. Here we are using BCM method. That means we mentioned that here trigger pin is 21 and echo pin is 20. So that means GPIO 21 pin we are going to use. GPIO 21 means pin number 40, and here next GPIO 20 means pin number 38 we are going to use. And here this is the ultrasonic sensor, VCC, trigger, echo and ground. And VCC means pin number 2, trigger means pin number 40, echo means pin number 38, and ground means 39, or any other ground pin you can use. So we mentioned that because we mentioned that trigger and echo pins are 21 and 20, and that too we are using BCM method. So that means you need to consider GPIO 21. GPIO 21 means pin number 40 and GPIO 20 means pin number 38. So if you have any doubt, please refer our previous lecture and refer the pin diagram of our Raspberry Pi so that you can understand. So I hope you understand this concept. Thank you for watching for this video, and please like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you.